Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Smooth the Ansar. I know it's been a long time, but I needed to make this video here because of course something is on my mind. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there's a bus company called SEPTA. And SEPTA went to court and they were not able to uphold what they brought before the judge, which was there's a group called FDI or AFDI, which stands for the American Freedom Defense Initiative. And they claim themselves to be a human rights group. What these people did was they bought advertising space on these buses, the SEPTA buses. And what they are is just straight out anti-Muslim posters, like ads down on the buses. So again, the SEPTA bus company, they didn't want to do it. They were told by the courts, from what I read online, that nope, you got to do it. You got to let them do it. And respect and acknowledgement and appreciation for the bus company, they did try to not do this, again, from what I read, because they said, you can't do this. You're dissing an entire group of people, but as so many of these groups here in America who work to use the guise of the Constitution to actually propagate their bigotry and their just straight out bullying. They try to say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Well, again, as I've said another time, your right to freedom of speech, your right to do something, does not impose upon the next person's right to do this. There's a lot of that going on, a lot of that talk now, because in Indiana and I forget the other state, they have this freedom of religion thing going on. Everybody sees that it's just a ploy to be able to be prejudiced, and what's the word? Refuse to serve people who and your religion can be whatever, but whoever and whatever it is that they disagree with. So, of course, the homosexual community has been up in arms over this, because it's like, you're just coming up with ways to not serve us. But of course, that can be anybody. That can be Muslims. They can say, well, my religion says that I can't deal with Muslims, and then not serve us. It can be my religion, like whatever. It can be just absurd, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I pray to a white God. God is white, which means the devil is black. I ain't going to serve the devil. I'm not going to serve you. You're a black person. It may sound far-fetched, but guess what? It's used to sound far-fetched to not serve somebody because you just didn't like them, But this is what these people do. Again, these straight out bigots and bullies. This is what they do. So I wanted to do what is my duty as a person, as a human, as somebody who does care for other people and do care for what seems to be right. And as a Muslim, we are not just encouraged but commanded that if you see something that is wrong, then you have to change it with your hands. If you can't change it with your hands, then you have to speak out against it. If you can't do any of those things, then you have to hate it in your heart. And of course, hating it in your heart is the weakest of faith. So as me having a forum, alhamdulillah, I figured I'd make this video and try to appeal to people to say, this AFDI, all this freedom of religion, excuse my French, but it is a crock. Okay? It's not real. They're not concerned with freedom of speech. They're not concerned with human rights. If they were so concerned with human rights, what about my human rights? What about the human rights of other Muslims that are here? Somebody can, with this whole atmosphere that's going on, and people hiding behind freedom of speech and all this sort of thing, with this atmosphere of what's going on here, somebody could feel it in their rights to come up to me sitting in my car right now, shoot me in the head through the window. Why? Because I'm Muslim. And to them, and from what all these media coverage is, especially Fox News, you always hear people talk about Fox News, I'm sure, because they are, I can't even say what they are because I'm a lady. However, use your imagination. But they put these things out there about us, and they make the environment, the climate, where it's okay to hurt one of us because we're different. We're different to them, or you better get them before they get you type of situation. Same thing that happened in this country so many times before with the African Americans / Africans, with the Japanese, with the Germans, definitely, of course, with the Native Americans. You put this climate forth, and then the people who feel that they're the ones in authority and those sorts of things, everybody's just latch on. It's like, yeah, let's go screw with them. They're no, what I'm saying? It's the same old thing over and over again. And I mean, you wonder, like, why y'all so scared? Why y'all so freaking scared of everybody? And you know who I mean by you all. Why y'all so scared of everybody? Stop messing with people. Stop screwing people over. Stop hounding and bullying people. Stop harming people, and you will have no need to live in your little paranoid world, afraid that everybody's coming to get you because you screwing every damn body. You know what I mean? And then you get upset and don't understand why your kids bully another kid. I freaking wonder why. It's a learned behavior, people. The children are doing what they see the adults doing. So, I mean, this just irks me because nobody is touched by situations like overall. Nobody gets upset, gets offended, gets, is prompted to move and take action until something happens to somebody that they love, or something happens to, happens in a way that touches them in their life, in their lives. This is real. And then truthfully, first of all, what I've seen either in the media or in my own personal life, it is primarily people. I'm not talking to you if it's not you, but it is primarily white people who are doing these things. And not just the Muslims, to like white people are like the biggest bullies here in this country, like seriously. And they're allowed to do things, the ones who do stuff to people, like the 3 Muslims who were, executed down in North Carolina a couple of months ago, like the black men who are constantly being shot and killed and maimed. When white people do stuff to us, it's like, oh no, they're crazy. That's what it is. They have mental problems. Oh, he didn't have his daddy there. All this kind of crap. And again, this whole environment is propagating the disillusion that people in general, Muslims specifically right now, because that's what I'm talking about primarily, the environment is propagating this whole disillusionment and making it okay to hurt people. And then when we start fighting back, because don't nobody sit back and let you attack them and their family over and over and over again. At some point, you got to stand up and fight back, period. And then when that happens, it's going to be the same old climate like it's always been. With the Native Americans, when they started fighting back, oh, they're savages, they're this, they that. When black people started fighting back, same thing, um, just everybody. But what do you want somebody to do? You want me to just sit there and wait for somebody to, come and shoot me up or do something? Like, what are we supposed to do? And people, I'm convinced these people, arrogant ass people, know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're the devil's advocates. They are. You know they are. Like, be truthful to yourself. They're playing devil's advocate. They're putting this stuff out there. I mean, how many of them have ever even met a Muslim? And seriously, one of the back to the AFDI bus campaign. You mean to tell me you gonna put a picture of some Muslim dude who don't nobody even know who he is or if it even existed, but a picture of him next to Hitler, saying that it proves that Muslims are against Jews and that we teach hate? Do you know how many billion of Muslims there are in this whole world? Like, seriously. So you telling me one dude from back in the 30s represents me? I don't even know who this cat is. I don't know who he is. I don't. You could be lying out your freaking, you know, your backside. But you're gonna convince the people that this one person is representative of Islam. Do you know how many incidences right now today, if we can prove whoever, Muslims, whoever, could use Christianity to prove, oh, Christians are evil, Christians this, Christians that. Honey, we could play that game all day long. It doesn't mean it speaks for Christian people. It doesn't mean that Christian people are evil. I remember one khutbah I went to, I guess about a month or two ago. And the imam was saying how, we can't allow people to get into our minds that the Muslims and the Christians are against each other. We here in America, we have so many Christian families. It may not be necessarily the ones who came over, because these still silly people who rant and rave about Islam, they have no freaking clue about Muslims, seriously. But certainly here in this country, there's so many of us who have an abundance of Christian relatives. I have Christian relatives all over the place. I have a religious family. So my daddy's family, they're predominantly Christian. My mom's family, predominantly Christian / non-Muslim. I have a sister who is a preacher. I have sisters who are Christian. There ain't no beef between the Muslims and the Christians. That's some crap that the media feeds in order to keep the people apart. We got to do better. We got to do better. We have to learn each other. We have to talk to each other. It don't mean I need to like you. It don't mean you need to like me. And I can't stand that freaking word tolerance. I don't need you to tolerate me. You don't need me to tolerate you. But I think it's about respect, if nothing else. Respect each other's differences and keep it moving. I don't have to be in your life. You don't need to be in mine. But at least we need to come, in my opinion, we need to come to our own opinions about each other through communication. Not through these a-holes on the freaking TV who have their own agendas. They have their own agendas. And these fools, these FDI people are just irking the mess out of me. They're so freaking annoying. And just straight out liars. I just hate liars, How are you going to say that you're, a human rights group, yet on your page you have like an ad talking about a Draw Muhammad contest? Seriously? Y'all are demons. Y'all are demons, period. Period. And inshallah, everything is going to come to light in the end. But like my grandmama used to say, God don't like ugly, and what goes around comes around. So y'all need to dig yourself, find a happy place, and stop being evil.